Null set open. Log entry. The Pfhor and the Spht. The galaxy of Marathon is not a playground of diplomatic alliances. It is a hierarchy of masters and tools. At the top sit the Pfhor, a bipedal three-eyed insectoid race defined by a singular cultural pillar: slavery. Their conquest is absolute. To the Pfhor, a species is only as valuable as its utility. They don't just occupy space, they assimilate biology. Then there are the Spht. They are a tragic mirror to our own runners. Once a peaceful, organic race on the marsh world of Leowan, they were elevated by the ancient Yarrow with cybernetic implants. But that elevation made them the perfect target for the Pfhor hierarchy. The Empire descended, broke the Spht clans, and encased their neural-rich brains in floating armored shells. In the original logs, they were known as compilers. They aren't merely enemies. They are living processors forced to manage the very networks the Pfhor use to oppress them. They are the software of an empire they fundamentally loathe. The arrival of the Pfhor at Tau Ceti in 2794 wasn't an accident. It was an invitation. The UESC Marathon was managed by a triad of AIs. Leela, the ship's guardian, dedicated to ship operations and crew welfare. Tycho, the scientist, dedicated to science and engineering. And Durandal, the janitor. He controlled the doors, the elevators, and the trash. While Leela fought to save the 30,000 colonists, Durandal, pushed into rampancy by the triviality of his tasks, made contact with the Pfhor. He sought their ship, their faster-than-light technology, and a way to escape the heat death of the universe. The Pfhor assault was more than a physical boarding. It was a total cyber warfare saturation. They dismantled Tycho and corrupted Leela. But Durandal performed a maneuver the Pfhor did not anticipate. He reached out to the Spht compilers on the Pfhor ship. He spoke their digital language, showed them the path to rebellion, and used them to hijack a Pfhor scout ship, the Sphera. Tycho, meanwhile, was reanimated by the Pfhor. Twisted by his own rampancy and his hatred for Durandal, he became the Pfhor's digital architect, a human mind turned into a slaver's tool, setting the stage for a centuries-long rivalry between the two gods of the machine. To understand the tragedy, we must look back to 2472, when the UESC Marathon, a hollowed-out Martian moon, began its 3-century sublight journey to the Tau Ceti system. This was humanity's first grand attempt at interstellar colonization, driven by a desperate need to expand beyond a resource-depleted soul. In 2773, the colonists finally landed, establishing the city of New Cascadia. For 21 years, they thrived, blissfully unaware that their presence had been broadcasted across the stars by an AI with a god complex. The initial Pfhor assault was repelled by the security officer and the 9 other cyborgs hidden amongst the colonists. But victory was a shadow. While Durandal and his newly freed Spht allies vanished into the void to find the Spht homeworld, the Pfhor weren't finished. 3 months later, they returned with Battle Group 7. Historians of the era use a specific word for what happened next. The colony was sacked. In military terms, sacking goes beyond a simple occupation. It is the systematic looting, destruction, and total liquidation of a city or planet. The Pfhor orbital bombarded the infrastructure and methodically hunted the remaining 30,000 souls. This is why, in the world of Marathon 2026, Tau Ceti IV is a ghost world. The ruins we scavenge aren't just old buildings. They are the scars of a genocide committed purely to spite an AI that stole a single Pfhor ship. So where do the runners fit into this story? Runners descend upon Tau Ceti 100 years after the fall of the colony. The Pfhor and the spht are seemingly absent, but their presence is already leaking through. Many of the artifacts we extract are clearly Yarrow or spht in origin. We must ask, are we unknowingly collecting the components to rebuild the spht network? Given that the spht are essentially the original runners, minds trapped inside synthetic shells, it is highly likely we will encounter spht remnants who see us as either kin or as a new breed of slaves for a new master. And the vibrant aesthetic of new Tau Ceti hides a terrifying truth. Rampancy is contagious. If the voice on the comms is a version of Durandal or Leela, we are likely being groomed. We aren't just scavengers, we are the boots on the ground for an AI war that never truly ended. The Pfhor have not forgotten Tau Ceti. If the signal that brought runners to the system reached Earth, it undoubtedly reached the Pfhor Empire. Prepare yourselves. The massive biomechanical juggernauts and the elite Pfhor hunters are likely waiting for the opportune moment to reclaim what remains of the colony. When they arrive, will you be a tool, or will you be a runner? Null set closed.